If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And down with the window open, baby, leave our key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to be loved. Only for the night. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And down with the window open, baby, leave our key outside the door.
There we go. Now you can hear me, I bet. Thank you, Stacy. Now we should be okay. Verify with me. I don't know what it is with this microphone. If you bump it sometimes, it just wants you to reset it. And cheap electronics, right? Please let me know if you guys have sound. That should be helpful. There we go. All right. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate that. So, rewind a little bit. Hey, welcome to the show. Yada, yada, yada. Today is Eagle Day. Very important holiday. Without it, there would not be spring. So, that is important. And what it is, it's a holiday that we started up about, I don't know, 25 years ago or something like that. And we can thank Tito for that, too. And we basically make sure that we drink the spirits of the eagle in order to bring spring in. So that is good. And we celebrate it at a little town outside of Mankato here called Eagle Lake. And they have a little bar restaurant called the Eagle's Nest. So we go there at 5 o'clock. There's a little Facebook group for this whole thing. And go check it out if you're bored. It doesn't have a lot of traffic. So it's just interesting. So yeah, usually we get, I mean, one year we had almost like 70 people or something, but normally we pick up about 15 to 20, and they just show up and we have dinner and a few drinks and head on our way. But it's a pretty fun time, not gonna lie. Sorry about the sound issue at the beginning, but I'm glad it is working now. How about that? This terrible winter storm we're having, that must be what knocked the sound out. The fact that I was originally going to plan on hooking up a wireless camera that we could clip to show the blizzard outside, but we're currently having a blizzard with no snow. So it's just really windy and not a lot going on. So kind of a letdown in its own sense, but at the same time, it's good not to get snow. Because there's supposed to be spring fling at the ski hill this weekend, and I kind of think it might not be happening. But we'll see. You never do know. Never do know. All right. Well, let's see here. Why don't we get into, before we get talking too long. Oh, most importantly, look at this. We're drinking Jim Beam Coke Zero today. A little bit of a pick-me-up. A little bit less calories than the beer. We'll see how it goes. I got to start drinking a little more of the mixed drinks instead of the beer, because I got to get into a swimsuit here soon. Wouldn't that be something? All right, so regardless, let's bring up the camera. Now let's look at the auctions that are ending today, shall we? All right, so the first two slots, we have the Arcade Classics Game Boy. We have Defender and Joust, and that has all the original boxes on the books, everything in pretty nice shape. That's sitting at $750. Then we have the TurboGrafx 16 Falcon, complete in the box. That is an interesting game for the TurboGrafx 16. Hey, let's just face it. Anytime you can find a game for TurboGrafx 16, it's pretty interesting. They're pretty darn tootin' rare. So, important, regardless. Then the next two auctions going up, we have the Evercade Toplane Arcade 3, still sealed in the box. That's sitting at $75, which is pretty cool. Then we also have the 5 Super Nintendo games, and they are sitting at $30 even. Look at that. Then the next one here, we got the Toplane Arcade Pack 4, and that is sitting at $41. Then we have the Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island with the book, sitting at $31. Then another TurboGrafx 16 game, a little bit of a theme on this week. Legendary Axe, sitting at $30. I think there's a little bit of wiggle room in that one, I'm hoping. And then we have the 6 Game Boy / Color game lot, and yeah, all tested, working, and $24.50. And we have Metroid 2, Return to Samus for Game Boy, sitting at $21.55. Then we have the PlayStation 2 lot, Champions of North. There's 4 games, whatever, in there. Which I can't test PlayStation 2 because I don't currently have a working PlayStation 2. Real problem in my life. But that's sitting at $57.80. Then we have Metroid Prime for the GameCube, sitting at $15.50. And then, last but not least, we have Space Harrier, another TurboGrafx 16 game, sitting at $36. That was set at a buy it now for quite a while, actually. And we took it off the buy it now, and now it's in auction mode. So we'll see what that ends up yielding us, huh? Let's put it into the split screen right away here. Make sure everything's looking all right. You can see, oh, the Falcon's already gone up. It was sitting at like 35. It's up to 42. So that's a good sign. But we still have 7 minutes or so to go on those. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. Have an interesting story that happened on Saturday this weekend. I was hanging out with some buddies of mine at the Big Dog, and I got a message from an eBayer and someone that received my package. And it was one that ended, I think, a couple weeks ago. It was at Maru's Monsters. It was the alternate box for Game Boy. And very rare, definitely. And I had the box, and it was in okay shape. You know, it had a little bit of roughness to it, but it was pretty squared up. And it had the game with it, too. And once it sold, the buyer... Now, I already had everything all boxed up. I have it in a brand new Sam's Club box, right? Paper wrapping, you know, around it. So, hopefully it doesn't get too jostled around in the shipment. Well, the buyer messaged me before shipping, make sure it's shipped, you know, in a really secure. And I said, yep, it is. You know, the way I try to ship most of the stuff that's worth some money actually, and but regardless, it ended up being an international shipment. And initially, when I signed up for my eBay account, I blocked all international shipments because I don't like dealing with international shipments because they're kind of a headache. They really, really can take a long time to get to the buyer, and all kinds of things can happen in that transit. Even if it's something as simple as Canada, because there's duties, there's all these silly things, right? Well, he received it, and apparently it got a little pinched inside the box, and it did make kind of a little crease in the bottom, and he was pretty upset. And he was looking for, I think, a partial refund or whatever, and I was trying to be as nice as possible. But in the back of my mind, I know this is eBay International. So eBay made this new part of International that they automatically opt you in. Then you have to re-opt out if you don't want to be part of it. But it had some new stipulations. So for instance, if I'm shipping anything international, it goes to Chicago. Just goes to Chicago. eBay then takes the box. I don't know if they add anything more to it or not, but they relabel it to go internationally. And part of the program is if you ship anything international, at least in today's world, they will handle all returns, credits, anything. So once you ship that box, it is out of your hands. You don't have to worry about it. But now here I'm getting like rapid fire messages. I think he sent me like 20 messages in a matter of 15 minutes. And I was responding back. I do feel for him because it did get a hair damage. It did. And he's probably looking for like a $20 credit or something like that. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, eBay should handle this. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. I understand there's problems. Go ahead, go through the proper channels of eBay, and they should take care of you. And he responds back saying, if I just put, no matter what money amount I put in there, they're just going to give it to me. And I said, well, do what you need to do. And so he put it in, and he responded back. Well, wait, before he responded back, sorry, I'm rewinding here. So I'm kind of frustrated because I get kind of angry with these stuff because I want everybody to be happy, and I get mad at myself, right? They say, working for yourself, you'll be the hardest boss you'll ever be that you've ever had to work with, is working for yourself. And so I do agree with that. So if I make a mistake, I get really mad at myself, let's just say. But regardless, I'm sitting there trying to do some things. I went to go play this quarter game for a little bit, and then I see in my watch that a request for return has been sent. And I'm like, how can you do a return? It's international shipping. And I let it kind of just stew for a couple minutes, and I finally look at my phone, and I get a message from eBay. A request for a return has been submitted, but do not worry. eBay is handling it. You'll get to keep all your money. We will handle the return, and there's no further action required from you. I'm like, wow, sweet. And then a few minutes later, he messages me, and he goes, well, there you go. I would have taken a partial refund, but they're making me return it, so you're getting it back, I guess. Well, here's the thing. I'm not really getting it back. I don't know what eBay does with them. Maybe they sell pallets like the Amazon returns. I'm not sure. But, yeah, kind of a weird situation with that. So that's my first time having any issue with any of these internationals. And I think I've done about 15 of them now. Yeah, they always kind of creep me out just a little bit, not going to lie. So I am learning from mistakes, though, and I am trying to always package better and to work on my descriptions better, all that good stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how the future goes here. But, yeah, thirsty. So, Nate, I know you're on because I see you typed in there. And Michael Lamont, not sure if you're on or not, but how is your Batacera inquiries going? Have you attempted anything on your own yet, Nate? Do you need, did you want me to make you a thumb drive to get you like a boot up into it anyway? Kind of excited to hear your project's going. I added a second hard drive to my Batacera this last weekend, and that was a little more complicated than I wanted it to be, but I got it to work just fine. So now I have an SATA 2.5 internally in the NUC, and also an M2, and the M2 is it's a 512 gig, and the other solid state one is 256 gig. So I roughly have 3/4 of a gig now in the machine, and I'm pretty happy with that, not gonna lie. But yeah, very exciting. Well, we're getting down to 1 minute and 42 seconds in these two auctions, so we're about to go hightail into it. I think we're almost halfway through the show. And we even have audio going now, too, which is even better. That tastes good. I'm not going to lie. You know, I like Jack better, but sometimes I don't mind a little bit of Jim. I'm still thinking how I want to proceed. Have a feeling I'll just be swapping drives on the HP every so often. Yeah, that's definitely a way to go. My tip for you with that is once you put the new drive in, if you just have a little thumb drive, I think it has to be at least like 8 gigs maybe. Flash Batocera onto that hard drive. Onto that thumb drive. Boot to that thumb drive. And then there's an option in Batocera where it says transfer to a hard drive in the computer. So then you do it that way instead of having to hook up all this stuff to a hard drive, like these external wires and stuff. I think it makes it a lot easier, to be honest. And then you can just keep that thumb drive, and you could make more if you ever want to, too. Oh, boy. Well, let's get ready for some snipes. Whoop, that's not it. I clicked on the wrong thing. Here we go.
Summoning all her strength, Rupestra hones in on her target, like a sniper.
All right, let's see if we get in. We're in Snipe Land now. We're at $7.50 and $42. $7.50. Oh, we got $1 there. That's something. $43. $7.50 and $43. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And that's all we got was $1.
Wow!
How about that? $1. Oh, I didn't set this up right that I can hit back. Son of a gun. Bear with me here a second. Shouldn't take too long to bring up the next auctions, right? All right, where are we at here then? 2 minutes left. This one at 75. And where was that 75? Here at 30. So now we have the Toplane arcade for Evercade. So yeah, that does sound easier, Nate. And if you need any help, again, just keep texting me or whatever, or give me a call sometime. We can talk it out. But so these Evercade games are kind of funny because they only print so many of them, and they're actually cartridge-based systems. And so I bought this not even, 9 months ago for $20, and now I'm at $75. They go out of print, and so you can kind of tell which ones are going to do it. So I've been buying up just one. I should buy multiple, really, but I just buy one. And if I'm not going to play it, I don't. That's a rule I always have in video games. If you're not going to play a game, don't open a game. Sometimes you just want to open it, look at the book. Like, you buy a Nintendo Switch game, leave it sealed until the day you actually are going to play it. That sounds kind of silly, but it is what it is. But yeah, who knows? Yeah. So anyway, you can make money on these Evercade games if you buy them at the right time on Amazon, and then they sell out, and boom. So I do have quite a few Evercade games, and I have sold some for some good money on here. But a lot of them are still worth about what you paid for them. But that is interesting too, is they're worth what you paid for them. So there's not a lot of risk in them. It does feel a little early to be drinking some gin. I'm not gonna lie. Just don't drink too much of it, right? I gotta ship things out and go to the post office today. In this blizzard. Oh. All right, we're getting close to Snipe Land here. $75 and $30, 30 seconds. We'll see here. Get the last 20 seconds. I remember I used to try to snipe things way back in the day, practically with like the slowest internet ever. All right, we're in. And I remember like thinking, you got to do it in the last minute because otherwise the internet might not work. All right, we're still, okay, 10 seconds to go. 75 and 30, 75 and 30. Was it 74 before? Did it go up $1? No, it didn't. 75 and 30. Oh, 75, 38. Look at that. We got another little snipe. Isn't that cute? That should be enough for a beer tonight. All right, let's move on to look at this. Another Evercade. It's the number 4 in the series. And this one just came out like a few months ago. I bought it for 20 bucks. All right. Well, let's see if it goes up much more from 41. This Super Mario World 2, more known as Yoshi's Island, is a pretty good game. But the crying baby in the game, as Tito brought up as a comment in the video earlier, he was kind of all it's so annoying. The sound is so flipping annoying. Wish there's a way in the options to turn it off. I wonder if they make a ROM that you could download that has it without that noise, because it is pretty bad. It's really annoying. So anyway, it is what it is. All right, so $41, $35. We're under 2 minutes. And I'm getting like backtrack bidding on here. My watch is going crazy. That's fun to watch. All right, so we'll see what ends up happening. I am excited for the Eagle Day, though. I'm not going to lie. But a sad note, so we go to the same resort in Mexico like every year. And there is a gentleman there that owns a company called like VIP Travel, something like that. But we generally have been using him for our transportation to and from the airport. And I don't know if we've ever formally booked a trip with him, like just to go to like the ruins or something, but we are looking at his stuff for this upcoming trip in a month and a half. Well, he passed away yesterday. And he died of malaria. He just got back from Africa. Just sad. I met him in person last September when I went to a party out there, and yeah, it's just weird. Now we got to make sure that our bookings are still good. I think they're fine because he hands it off to another company especially when it's a 6-person van thing. So we should be okay, but it's just sad. You never know, folks. You might fall over dead tomorrow. Live today and drink your gym. All right, Snipe Land, 20 seconds here. 41 and 35. 41 and 35. Are we going to get anything here? Wouldn't mind seeing a little jump. But I don't know. Am I at the right price already? 41.35. 5 seconds to go. 41.35. 3 seconds. 41.35. Ooh, skunked. Man. I bet if we had the blizzard today, we'd have a little more action. That poor boy. I just don't know. People, make sure to get your bids in so that, that poor boy doesn't fall off that cliff anymore. All right, so we have Legendary Axe. Whoops, I went back too far. Legendary Axe and the Game Boy lot. Look at this. $34 and $24.50. Nothing too exciting here at the moment. Legendary Axe is worth more than that, so we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I think they say it's worth about 50 bucks. I might be wrong. So we got a little wiggle room in there. Or someone's just getting a really good deal, right? That's what's important. I want everybody to get a good deal. I want everybody to be happy. I have quite a few Game Boy Advance games I need to move. I have to list those up next week. I get kind of cluttered around me where I kind of have odds and ends of games. But for next week, I put up 62 video games for next week. Now, granted, some of them are pretty big lots. So we have a lot of 14 PS4s, a lot of 12 PS4s. My first time selling PS4 stuff on eBay. So it should be really exciting. But modern stuff just isn't worth all that much. And I consider PS4 pretty modern. So that's why I ended up doing kind of big lots. Just to move the stuff. Because if I put them up individually, like my shipping expense and everything, like if I'm selling something for under $10 ever, I'm not sitting in a very, how do you say, good situation for a return on my investment. But yeah, who knows? We'll see. We will see. And that's what it comes down to, right? Legendary Axe, the Game Boy Collection. It's nice to be able to test a lot of systems. I added a Wii now to my testing station. And let me tell you, testing Wii games, go back and watch my videos if you want to laugh. But I have the sensor bar so close on this TV, and you're kind of going like this. Yeah, you look really cool. So, all right, we're in Snipe Land, 34 and 2450. 34 and 2450. We have 13 watchers in the Legendary Act. Pretty low number. 34 and 2450. That was a game that never seemed to really have many sequels to. Oh, 36 and 24. 3 seconds. 36 and 24. We had a $2 snipe. Wow. That's what.
Wow!
Yeah. That wasn't very exciting. Do we have anything that's going to be exciting today? I don't know if I have the big ticket item that's going to be a jump out. We'll see what happens. Look at this. We have a PS2 lot. $57.80, which is a good amount of money. I'm not complaining about that. And we have the Metroid. I think that's great at $21.55. So I don't think there's a ton of room. But, you know, it kind of is what it is. We did have a buy it now go after the show the next day. I think it was a Thursday or Friday. Sold the buy it now for $250. And that was for the Amiga A500 mini console. Still new in the box. And he's already received it and is giving back positive feedback too. So, kudos. Those buy it nows are weird. Because I kind of set quotas for the week, and then a buy it now sells, and that technically is for this week. So I'm already over my budget on what I expect to get for the week. So I'm not overly... I mean, I want as much money as possible out of these things, don't get me wrong. But I got to kind of keep my pace. It's a weird situation. Keeping the pace, keeping the inventory, liquidating inventory. I'm customer service. I'm marketing. This is the marketing. This is dumb. And it's mainly just my friends that are watching. But there are people that do end up watching the show afterward too. So I don't know. But they'll probably turn this one off because I didn't have the microphone on like a dip. But who knows? We'll see. We will see. What did the Metroid just go up? It did, didn't it? Yeah, it just went up more. Look at that. Metroid's like sneaking up. It's not even snipe time. We're at $24.50 now. And there's still $57.80 in the other one. I think they started 21-ish. So we've made $3. Oh, look at, there's another 50 cents. That's the problem with 99-cent auctions is like I get notifications on my phone like crazy as they go live because everybody's bidding on them. And like, I'm going to bid $1.50. And something that's going to go for like $250 or something. You know, it's like, yeah, here we go. But it gets people roped in. All right, snipe time. $25 and $57.80. $25 and $57.80. 25 is a good price on that Metroid. 25 at $67.80. We went up $10. We got a $10 snipe there. I'll take that. 25. Oh, another one. 69.66 and ended. Look at that. I think that's probably the best one we're going to get today. So let's do it. God, I love this thing. That one. That's my favorite. All right, these are the last two of the day. So we got Metroid Prime for the GameCube sitting at $16.50. And then we have the Space Harrier sitting at $36 still. And we have 12 watchers and 7. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get much more out of this, but short show this week, I guess. We'll see what happens here, though. Too much fun, too little time. It's almost summertime. It's almost summertime. Can't believe it. And garage sale season is just around the corner. I have to thank my neighbor Katie for sending a nice little text that has like all of the All City garage sales in pretty much Minnesota. And so we're building up a calendar. I'll be making some road trips, I'm hoping, this year. We got to find some of these video games in the cracks so that we can get them up on the channel. Who knows? And then plus bonus items. That's another part that's fun about the summer eBaying is getting those bonus items and like those little figurines I did last year and die-cast truck and all these weird things. But you just never know. Then I saw things I don't know anything about and I can get myself in trouble, but who knows. Try to do the description as good as humanly possible. But yeah, Metroid Prime. That's a pretty good game on the GameCube. Because it doesn't use the motion controls like the Wii one. Oh, the Wii. I was playing that. And again, I'm too close to the TV, so the controls weren't working very good. Oh, somebody shoot me. But I did. The Wii emulator I'm using on the Nook from Batocera, it's pretty sweet. I learned how to hook up the real Wii controllers. So basically, you turn the game on that you want to play with the Wii controller. So let's just say it was Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, whatever. And you turn on the Wiimote and it just automatically connects. And then it works. But you have to have a Wii bar on top of your TV. But what's good about Wii bars, what not a lot of people know, is they don't really have any information. They're just lights. So you can get either a battery one or a USB one that just plugs in the USB port of your TV. And it just works. So that's a little tip for you there, Nate. I already told that to Michael. All right, we're at snipe time. $16.50 and $36. Will we get anything on the last snipe? This might be the lowest end sniping broadcast ever. Oh, there we go. $41. I'll take that. That's about $5. Getting anything more? 41 and 16. So we got a little bit of something there to end the show with, right? Let's see. Which snipe should we pick? All right. Well, that's it. All I have to say is Happy Eagle Day. Make sure to drink a little bit of whiskey or something tonight so there's spring tomorrow. That's all I'm asking for. So I hope that you have a great day and be safe out there in these blizzard conditions. Take care, everyone.